Okay, here we go. So this week we've been talking about acceptance, and we've talked mainly about accepting others, accepting our new way of life, accepting so many things, people from all walks of life, different beliefs, and so on. But what I'd like to focus on is self-acceptance. We don't talk about that too much. Do you accept yourself the way you are? Because we are all unique, and in our uniqueness, we are all perfect human beings. And these bodies and all the things that drive these bodies are perfect in their way. Perfect. So I'd like us to think about self-acceptance, self-love. Close your eyes and bring your attention inward. And focus on your breath. Allow your breath to deepen and notice how beautiful your breath works. As you inhale, you receive new life, new energy, and as you exhale, you let go of toxins and of everything that gets in your way. Perfect cycle. And continue with that thought in mind, inhaling deep, deep breath, exhaling slow and long, very slow, long breath, so that you not only rid yourself of what you no longer need, but you also trigger your parasympathetic nervous system, your ability to move from fight or flight to rest and digest, relax and repair. Return to your natural rhythm of breathing and gently open your eyes. Now we'll start with our side body stretch to warm up. Stretch over to the right, bend your right elbow, send your left arm over to the right and feel the stretch from your hip to your fingertips. Your right elbow is bent, so your shoulder is dropped. What I'd like to ask you to do is push into the mat with your right hand and swivel your heart just a little bit, your chest over to the left to open it up a little bit more. Open up your heart. And remember to drop the shoulder. I have to remind myself. Yeah. Push off your right hand and let's go right over to the other side. And do the same thing here. As your shoulder drops and your elbow is bent, turn your heart up towards the sky, your whole chest, your ribs. And maybe you can straighten your arm, your right arm a little bit more so that you encourage a deeper stretch. And then lift both arms up to center. Inhale, exhale, send your arms back behind you, Yoga Mudra behind you. Open up your heart. Little baby back bend, big heart opener. Inhale and exhale and fold over your legs any amount. Look down at the floor in front of you. So if you're all the way down on your mat, lift up a little bit, look down at your mat and send your knuckles back behind you. Just lift them away from the back, from your sacrum, and send them back before you to stretch your elbows just a little bit to open up your shoulder joint. Some of you may be able to lift higher, or may wish to, or not is always an option. And then let your knuckles lead you back down, roll your shoulders. And go both ways. Good. All right. So we're going to take a twist to the right, left hand on right knee, looking over right shoulder, getting taller on the inhale, twisting a little bit more when you are empty of breath. Place your left hand on your right thigh, lift your right arm, and stretch in the opposite direction. Bring your right hand to your left knee, release your left arm, and twist to look over your left shoulder. And place your right hand on your left thigh and send your left arm over to the right. Bring both arms up to center. Send your arms back behind you. Interlace your fingers into Yoga Mudra. And once again, let's open up our heart. Inhale, exhale, fold. Maybe this time you can come down a little bit more. Send your knuckles straight back behind you. Don't push too hard. Just send them just to open up your shoulder sockets a little more. And then on an inhale, unfold. Right. Good. Send your legs straight out in front of you and shake them out. Need to move back a little. Okay. All right, good. Dandasana. Active legs, flexed feet. Inhale, bend your knees, flex your feet. Exhale, point and straighten. Inhale, bend and flex. Exhale, point and straighten. Inhale, bend and flex. And then next time your hand is to your heart, pause. You're going to open up your right leg out to the side. Bend your left knee, bring your the sole of your left foot to your right inner thigh. If that's awkward for you, you can bring your foot a little bit closer to the center. You're going to lift your arms up alongside your ears. You're going to inhale and then exhale. Engage your abdominal muscles as you hinge from your hip socket all the way down as far as you comfortably can come to the mat. Look up, lift your arms alongside your ears and bring your arms, your fingers facing all the way up to the sky. Turn to face your bent knee, your left knee. Your hands are straddling your knee. They can be closer to your hips or farther out. You pick where you think would be best, because what we're going to do is roll our spine into cat and dog motions. So we're going to dive down. So on and exhale. So inhale, exhale, dive down under the water. Inhale, bring your nose up, take a little air. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, and continue to do this at your own pace. And try it. See how it feels if you have your arms farther, hands farther away, or if you have them close. And then next time you're above water, pause. All right. And turn through center and turn to your extended leg. So you're going to do your best to square your shoulders with that leg. You're not going to go all the way because it's at quite an angle, but you'll do your best. Arms up alongside your ears. Inhale, exhale, fold over your extended leg any amount. Look up. Release your left hand and follow your fingers as they reach for the sky. As they come down alongside your left hip, use your right arm as your propeller to come up onto your shin. Send your arm alongside your ear, your toes away from you for a full side body stretch. And then make your way back down. All right. Okay, one more thing in this position. And again, if you have to move your bent knee a little bit out of the way, away from your right leg, then do that. But what we're going to try here is a stretch and a twist together. So take your square elbow, those are shoulders, and twist them a little to the left, so that your right shoulder is in line with your right leg. You're going to bring your right forearm down inside your right leg, or your hand if that's not possible, or if it's just uncomfortable. And you're going to try to keep your chest wide and open, just like we did before, and send your left arm alongside your left ear. And then unfold. Okay. All right. Release both legs in front of you, shake them out. And we'll do that on the other side. So your left leg goes all the way out to the left, your right foot, sole of your right foot to your left inner thigh. And we're going to start by facing our knee or bent knee. And let's do our little dolphin dives. So Inhale, exhale, dive down under the water. Inhale, come up, exhale. Continue with this little vinyasa of diving down and lifting up. And then the next time you are above water, pause. Turn to center. Arms alongside your ears. Inhale, exhale, come forward over your extent, or in the middle. I'm sorry, you're not over anything, you're in the middle. Look up, arms alongside your ears, and unhinge. Bring your arms back down by your side. Now here we go again. You're going to turn, right? You're going to turn so that your left shoulder is in line with your left leg. So you're turning to the right. You're going to place your forearm inside your left leg or your hand, whatever reaches for you. All right. And then you're going to raise your right arm and open up, make sure your chest stays wide open, and send your right arm towards your toes in that direction. They're not going to touch. And then lift all the way up. All right, excellent. So bring your right hand. Oh no, first we have to turn to your left leg. I went a little bit out of sequence, but that's okay. Inhale and exhale, fold over your left leg. Look up. Release your right arm, your fingers reaching for the sky, coming down alongside your right hip, and come up onto your shin. Send your arm alongside your ear for a full body stretch. And then bring your hips back down to the mat. Send your legs out in front of you, shake them out. All right. So one of the things we're going to do today, we're going to do a little bit of reversals of some of our poses. There are poses that in front of their names, like Trikonasana is triangle pose. So there's a pose called Parivrtta Trikonasana, which means, Parivrtta means revolved or reversed. We also use it to refer to a twisted pose. So we're going to work on some poses that we're very familiar with and do the reverse of them, or the revolved version of them. So let's begin on our hands and knees. Yeah. So we're in table. Yeah, we're in table pose. Your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Let's do a couple cats and dogs while we're here. And then come to a neutral spine. And let's stretch a little bit more. Send your right leg back behind you. You're going to lift your right leg up hip high. You're going to send your left arm straight out in front of you. Extend it alongside your ear. Reach with your fingers, reach with the sole of your foot in opposite directions. Bring your hand down, bring your knee down. Send your left leg back behind you. Lift it up, hip high. Extend your right arm. Reach for the wall in front of you, step on the one behind you. Feel that extension in your limbs. And then bring knee and hand back down. So just wag your tail a little bit, wag it from side to side. And then come to center. And we're going to do the opposite of table. So we're going to do a reverse table. So roll over onto your hips, bring your legs around in front of you, step on your feet, walk them away a little bit, bring your hands alongside your hips. All right, we're going to do this gradually. And so bend your elbows a little bit so that your shoulders aren't scrunched up. On an inhale, you're going to lift your hips and then just place them right back down. Lift them again, and this time move, step them forward. Lift your hips again and step it. Maybe you'll send your hips all the way to your heels. Lift your hips, send them back to your hands. Now we're going to come to our reverse table, which I have named Stafasana. Lift your hips, send them forward, and come into a reverse table by lifting your hips. Try to keep your ankles under your knees, so move them if you need to. And then bring your hips back down between or near your hands. We're going to do that again because it's such a lovely pose, right? Okay. Ready? Lift your hips. Come straight into your reverse table. Parivrtta, Stafasana. And then bring your hips to your hands. Bring your knees to your chest. Hug your knees, your legs. And bow your head for a seated child's pose. All right, send your legs out in front of you. So we're all familiar with plank pose, and we will probably do one a little bit later. But what we probably don't do very often, which I know we don't do very often, is up plank, the upward version of plank. So in plank, your belly is facing down. Now we're going to face our whole front side of our body up to the sky. So lengthen your feet, send your toes straight out in front of you. Your hands are behind your hips so that when you come up, your wrists will be under your shoulders. It's really simple. It takes a bit of effort, but it is not a difficult plank, up plank. So you're just going to lift your hips and come to a nice long plank. Reach your toes away from you. Look up to the sky. Don't let your head hang down. You want that straight line from your toes to the crown of your head, and then bring your hips back down to the mat. All right. So we now have up plank. Come around, bend your knees and come around, and come back onto hands and knees. We're going to do some dog reversals, all right? So turn under your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Our first down dog today, so enjoy this. Come into your most perfect dog. And then begin to walk your dog. Take some time when you send your heel to the mat to hold for a moment so that you could feel the back of your leg opening up. That's very important. We don't get opportunities to stretch that part of our leg very often. And then come to your dog. All right. So we're going to come into up dog now. So you can watch me the first time, or you can do this with me. If you own a dog, you already know this pose. So your dog does down dog and then comes forward, bringing the shoulders forward, turn over your toes, and you just turn in the opposite direction like your dog does. Your heart coming between your arms, your knees away from the mat. And you're going to roll over your toes again to come back down to down dog. Let's try that once more. So let's do it really, really slowly this time. So like I said, you can still watch if you like. So you're going to come forward. You're basically coming to a plank, only you're going to keep going so that your heart comes between your arms. You roll over your toes. If that is too awkward, then just turn over one foot and then turn over the other foot. So here we go. We're going to come forward, 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 turning the toes, sending your heart straight out. Now, we do this very often in almost every class, but usually our knees are on the mat. So you are all very familiar with it, child's pose. Roll over onto your hips, send your legs out in front of you. So when we talk about down dog, I often say it's an upside down V. So now we're going to do a right side up V. So bring your hands to the back of your thighs, bring your toes onto the mat, lift one leg, lift the other, lift both. So keep your feet first at parallel to your legs, parallel to your shins, I should say, to the mat. And then maybe you'll release your arms. So it's not quite a V yet, but it actually could be a cursive V or a handwriting V, a script V, or you can lengthen your legs for a very sharp V or a check mark, like downward facing dog, upside down. Bend your knees and come back down into a seated position. Come onto your knees and come on to stand on your knees. Yeah. So what we'll need to get ready for when we do Trikonasana will be, that's triangle pose, we'll be going in the opposite direction. So when we do that, I'm going to tell you to twist from your waist. So let's practice that right now. Bring your hands on your hips, on your pelvic bone, actually. Yeah. Inhale and then exhale, twist to the right without moving your pelvis. Inhale to center, exhale, other side. Let's do that again. And I want you to feel it. Feel where that twist is occurring when I ask you about it when we come to Trikonasana. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And then come to center. Place the heels of your hands to your back, waist, elbows reaching away, back behind you. On an inhale, you're going to open up your heart even more than we have before, and you can come down as a little bit, as deep as you wish. You can interlace your fingers, send your knuckles to the earth for an even deeper back bend on Ustrasana, a camel. And then release your arms and come just for a moment to a table. It doesn't have to be your perfect table. That's just to counter that back bend, right? If it was a deep one, especially. Then come back up on your knees. Send your right leg out in front of you. And we're going to stretch our hamstrings and our quadricep muscles, or thigh muscles, in one little vinyasa, right? So we're going to have a straight leg in front of it. Walk your foot away a little bit. You're going to send your arms back behind you, and then you're going to inhale, slide your hips forward. Your left quadricep should be stretching. Exhale your arms down, straighten your leg, bend over your leg. Inhale, slide forward, arms up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale and pause. So this pose, when we slide our hips forward, is the name of the pose is Anjaneyasana. And Anjani was the mother of Hanuman, and Hanuman was the monkey god. And the Hanuman pose is a split. So we're not going to do a split, not to worry, but we're going to do a pose that's called the twisted monkey. Just get back a little more. So walk your right foot away a little bit as if you were coming into a split. Bring both your arms up alongside your ears. Bring both your arms inside your right leg. Bend your left knee. All right, so there's two ways to do this. You could just reach around and grab your foot, or you can cheat like I do and send your hips back a little bit so that it's easier to grab your foot, and then send them forward again, and then twist toward your bent knee for a twisted monkey. Parivrtta Hanumanasana. Release your leg, bring your right leg back. Right. Send your left leg out in front of you. Take your time. Walk it away a little bit. Inhale, slide forward. Exhale, bow, straighten your legs. Bow over your left leg. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Bend your left knee. Both arms inside your left leg. Plant your palms on the mat. Bend your right knee. Either reach and grab your foot, or help it by sending your hip back a little bit so you can more easily grab your foot and twisting toward your bent knee for a twisted monkey. Release your foot. Bring your left knee to meet your right knee and come to a child's pose. All right. And make your way up to stand. Right. So I always have to walk around a little bit when I stand. Okay. Mountain. Little hello to the sun. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Thank you for your brightness today. Exhale. Inhale. All that illumination. Exhale. Bring it to your heart. All right. Release your arms. So we're going to do some poses in a more hatha tradition as opposed to a flow. We'll probably do a flow at the end if there's time, but I want to show you the reversal of the poses that we're talking about. So let's start first with warrior two. Come to a warrior two. So I've got my right leg forward, bent, my right leg bent. So make sure your hips are square. And it's not square, square is the wrong way, even, right? So make sure they're aligned across here. Your shoulders are square. Walk your right toes away if needed. And you're going to bring your forearm onto your thigh, your left arm alongside your left ear, to have that beautiful straight line, this side angle stretch from your fingertips to your left toes. There is another way to do this pose, a little deeper into the pose. And if you have a block, that's a good thing. So here's a deeper version of that pose. So instead of putting your forearm, because the problem sometimes with putting your forearm is that you lean on your thigh, and you shouldn't be leaning on your thigh. It's just a position, it's just resting. So let's try, if you want to, you can still do it the other way. Your right arm straightens like you would in a triangle, except your knee stays bent, and you reach for a block or the floor, and still send your arm alongside your ear. Now, if you're doing it without the block, then you've got to come down a little bit deeper still. Push in to the floor with your feet. Warrior two. So now we're going to do that side angle that we just did in a reverse position. So you're going to swing your left arm up alongside your ear, place it inside your right foot. I like to swivel. The pose doesn't call for that, but I think it's safer for your knee if you swivel your left foot so that your toes are pointing forward, and then twist open to the right. So that's the reversal of that other pose we just did, side angle. And then send your arm alongside your ear so that you have that straight line from your fingers to your toes. Flatten your back foot on the mat. Whoops. And come back up to warrior two. Okay, we have to do that on the other side. All right. So we start with warrior two. Either rest, but don't put pressure, your forearm on your thigh, or bring your, I prefer a block, bring your hand inside your leg for a deeper side angle twist. And remember what we said when we were seated. Open up that chest. Come back up to warrior two. Where am I going? Okay. So then send your right arm so that it lands inside your left foot. You can leave your back leg where it is or swivel it to a low lunge leg and twist for a revolved side angle pose, arm alongside your ear. Twist back to center. Place your back foot flat on the mat. Come back up through warrior two. All right. Utkatasana, yes. All right, the chair pose. We're going to do chair pose, a reversal of chair pose. Parivrtta, Utkatasana. And then we'll do triangle, and then we'll come back down on the mat. Send your arms back behind you. I like to do that because it allows you to swing forward as you sit in your chair, right? Bring your legs close together. They can be a little bit apart. They don't have to be touching, but you might like them touching, might give you more stability. Bring your hands into Anjali Mudra. Bring that prayer to your heart. And squat a little bit more, then hook your left elbow over your right thigh and take that prayer with you. Press in to the palms of your hands so that your heart will come more towards your hands. Then open up your arms, sending your right fingers to the sky, your left fingers to the mat. Bring your hands back together. Open up again. Reverse chair pose. Come to center with your prayer. Push in and come to stand. Now we're going to do that on the other side. Arms streaming back before you like you're getting ready to take off. Send your arms back before you. Bend your knees, sweep the air forward. Come to sit in your chair. Anjali Mudra. Bring it to your heart. Bend a little bit more. Hook your right elbow over your left leg. Push in to your hands to twist a little bit more deeply. Open your arms. Prayer. Bring your prayer to center. Send your arms behind you and rise up by pushing your feet into the mat. All right. Okay, one more. Trikonasana, triangle pose. So we've spent a lot of time right in the past on triangle. So let's start with our triangle. So we start in warrior one legs, only both legs are straight. Your hips are as square as they can be. Yeah. Your shoulders square. And here's another pose where you want to make your right shoulder track with your right leg. So your heart stays open. You want to stack your hips as you reach your whole torso and head and the crown of your head for a big long straight. So this is wonderful for lengthening your spine. Yeah. You want a long spine and triangle, and come to your triangle. Come back up. Let's do triangle on the other side, and then we'll do the reverse pose. Right. So again, straight leg, stacking hips, lengthening spine for triangle. And come back up. All right. So reverse triangle seems a little different from a regular triangle. And if you have a block, I encourage you to use it. So you're going to come into what looks like warrior one legs. So your hips are not stacking one on top of the other, and they will not when you come into the reverse pose. What you're going to do instead is twist in the opposite direction. And like we did earlier, you'll twist from your waist. You're going to keep your hips where they are, and you twist from the waist. All right. Block inside your leg if you have one, or whatever you might have as a substitute. Come forward as you would with a long spine in triangle. Bring your hand either inside or outside your leg, and open up to the right, twisting from your waist. Keeping your hips as even as possible. For a reverse triangle. Parivrtta Trikonasana. Bend your knee, push into the mat. Other side. Start with warrior one legs. Block is inside, and sometimes it's done outside. It makes that a little bit easier to twist if the block is on the outside, but it also makes the pose more difficult. So you can try that if you like. All right. Come with a long, straight spine, right hand on block, and you twist your torso without your hips to the left. Keep those hips square for a reverse triangle. All right. Bend your knee, step your back foot forward, hang over, Uttanasana. Take opposite elbows and just do a little ragdoll here. And place your hands on the mat and make your way down to the mat. So after all that twisting and revolving and turning, we're going to do a little massaging, We're going to massage our backs. So lengthen your legs, or you can put your feet on the mat. That's okay too. You're going to press your right shoulder into the mat and exhale, release it. Left shoulder, press it in and release. Both shoulders, press both shoulders in, feel your heart lifting, exhale, release. Once more, press both shoulders in, lift your heart, and release. Send your fingers to the sky. Let your shoulders relax back down on the mat. Bend elbows, forearm over forearm. You're going to do this twice on each side. So you'll go at your own pace. We're going to just roll your upper body. So the goal here is to put your upper arm on the mat or get it as close to the mat as it can. So you have one forearm on top of the other. You're going to inhale and then exhale to the left or right, doesn't matter. Inhale to center, exhale to the other side. Inhale to center, we're rolling over our shoulder blades. Your upper back is getting a little massage now. I lost count, but make sure it's even, and we'll meet with our hands, our forearms, one over the other. All right. Release your arms. Bring your knees into your chest. Place one hand on each knee. And then send both knees away from you, straightening your arms, and then bring them back into your chest. And you can feel your lower back, the small of your back, flattening and curling and curving. Go back and forth, exhaling as your knees come toward your belly, inhaling as they move away. And next time your knees are into your chest, pause, open them wide, away from each other. We're not going to do happy baby. We're going to do circles, separate circles. So you're going to send your knees away from you in front, and then bring them together, then bring them back into your chest. Send them away on the sides, send them forward, and make these separate circles, these clockwise and counterclockwise circles with your knees. And then the next time your knees are in your chest, pause and then go the other way. So you'll start by sending your knees away and doing the reverse circle. And then next time your knees are in your chest, you'll pause and place your feet on the mat. Extend your legs. And you're going to squeeze your right glute, squeeze your left, squeeze your right, and keep going from side to side, squeezing your gluteus maximus, your butt cheek in, street language, right? And then pause. Now open your legs so they're as wide as the mat, away from each other. And you're going to rotate your legs all the way from the hip socket. So you'll rotate so that the big toe side of your leg is coming towards the mat, and then you'll go the other way so that the pinky edge is on the mat, and you'll go back and forth. Right. And then pause. And just open, allow your legs to splay open. Your arms alongside your body, arms rotated so the palms of your hands are reaching upward. Allow your whole back body, which is nice and supple now, to release to gravity, just sink into the earth. Think of your palms facing upward as a gesture of acceptance. of self-acceptance. Take a deep breath. Begin to reawaken your body. Roll your head from side to side. Make gentle movements with your hands and your feet. Send your arms back behind you overhead and your feet in the opposite direction for one last full body stretch. Yeah. And then bring your knees into your chest, hug them, and roll from side to side. Come to center, release your legs and roll over onto whichever side you prefer to come to a fetal position. And then as you're ready, make your way up to sit. I know some of you may have to leave, so I wish you a glorious day. And the rest of you who are staying for meditation, make yourself comfortable. Come into your meditation seat so that you can be grounded. Your seat or your feet connected to the earth. And we're going to do a little mini Yoga Nidra today for self-acceptance, self-love. So close your eyes, come inside, and you're following your natural breath. No changes to your breath, just follow it. And remember that when you are distracted by a thought or a noise or anything around you, if it's a thought, just say later, don't struggle, and come back to your breath or an image that you have created for yourself during this meditation. After your next exhale, bring your awareness to your heart center. Notice your heartbeat. And let the idea of self-acceptance and self-love fill your heart. And allow it to nurture there. And then after your next breath, bring your attention to your face. Allow the skin on your face to just relax. Bring your awareness to your brow. Take a breath to relieve the tension that you may be holding there. Bring your awareness to your eyelids, noticing how they darken the room for you, how they allow you to come deeply inside. And bring your awareness to your jaw and just let it relax. No tension, no tension, let it go. Perhaps your mouth will fall open slightly so that you may fully relax your jaw. And bring your awareness to your neck. To the back of your neck, another place we hold so much tension. Breathe into that place and let it go. Let it relax. Let the tension dissipate. Allow your breath to soothe it. Bring your awareness to your shoulders and allow your shoulders to slope, to just relax. Breathe in and out, and on the exhale, let them relax a little bit more to ease your burdens. Bring your awareness now down your arms, all the way to your fingertips. Feel your arms become limp, become completely relaxed. Let them go. Notice If your palms are facing down or up, notice the texture of your clothing, perhaps against your arms or the surface you may be touching. And bring your attention to your seat, your ability to ground yourself, to connect with the earth, to have a solid foundation. And let that awareness travel all the way down your legs to your toe tips, to encourage your mobility and groundedness, an extension of your seat. Next, bring your awareness back up to your brow area, right between your brows to your middle eye. Breathe in to that spot, to that place. The symbol of wisdom, all the wisdom you have garnered over the years, throughout your lifetime, from mistakes you have made, from successes you have achieved, from adventures you've enjoyed. All that wisdom is yours. And it is your sixth sense. Take another breath to that place, to your third eye, to open it wide so you may see beyond what your eyes can show you, using your wisdom, using your psychic energy. Bring your awareness to your heart center. And allow an image of someone you love very dearly to come to mind, very unconditionally. See that person. This is someone that brings you great joy. Or perhaps you'd prefer to think about a place that brings you great joy. And if it's a place, take notice of it. The colors, the atmosphere, the fragrances, all the sensations that it gives you in as much detail as possible. See every little bit of it. And if you are looking at a loved one, take as much time to have as much detail as possible. Notice the color of their eyes, the striations in their iris. Notice their brow line, their hairline. Notice the shape of their ears, the pout of their mouth, the shape of their chin. Notice every detail of their body and feel the joy that that person brings to you. Feel the joy of the person or the place that lets you feel free, that lets you feel loved, that you love. Now allow yourself for a moment to think of a place in your body where you may have some discomfort. Or maybe it is something in your mind, maybe it is grief or anxiety. Whatever it may be, allow yourself to go to that spot as it manifests in your body and to feel those feelings. Those are your feelings. They are important feelings. But they're there for a reason, to send you a message so that you will know what to do to ease their discomfort. Listen to those feelings. Hear what they are telling you. And after your next breath, bring yourself right back to that place of joy, to that person or place that filled you with joy, and allow your attention to linger there. How good that feels. Noticing that when you're in this place, none of the other things matter. None of those other things bother you. How powerful your mind is. And you are in charge. Come back to your heart center and know that it is filled with compassion. Compassion not just for others, but for yourself. Notice with every heartbeat how it fills your body up. How every cell in your body is elated with this feeling of love. And then notice how it is so powerful that it cannot stay just simply within your body, that it must move outside, surrounding you like an aura. This love and compassion. Make yourself a vow. That you will care for yourself. That you will stay healthy, whole, and happy. And say these words to yourself. I am worthy. I am enough. I am love. Bring your hands to your heart. And feel your heart beating against your thumbs. And feel that joy and allow it to stay with you. Bow your head. And as you lift your head, begin to open your eyes so that when your head is fully erect, your eyes are fully open. Thank you all so much for being with me this beautiful Friday morning. Namaste.